Your brain is currently wargaming how to deal with your enemies. Not your enemies from years ago, the ones from last Tuesday, the ones sitting 3 desks away, the ones you smiled at this morning and said nothing to. While you slept last night, your brain ranked every person in your life, flagged the ones it doesn't trust, and rehearsed what to do about them. You didn't choose this. You can't opt out. And by the time you woke up, the decisions were already made. The Vikings called what happens at night the Draugr. Creatures that rose from sleep changed, violent, unrecognizable, impossible to reason with. People who went to bed and came back wrong. For 1,000 years, we called it myth. It isn't myth. It's your amygdala. During REM, your amygdala, your internal siren, screams at full volume. It is more active than when you're fully awake, flooding your sleeping brain with threat signals, urgency, and social fear. But the part of you that can say, relax, it's just a dream, your prefrontal cortex, is effectively paralyzed. You are a high-speed engine with no brakes, running simulations of your worst-case social scenarios, with no rational voice available to question whether any of it is actually true. That's not a glitch. That's the design. And it kept your ancestors alive. Neuroscientist Matthew Walker at UC Berkeley describes REM as the brain's overnight threat simulation engine. It runs social scenarios, conflict outcomes. It wargames your relationships using emotional data collected throughout the day and files the verdict somewhere below conscious reach, somewhere you can act on but never fully audit. If you think that's just dreaming, you're missing the point entirely. The output isn't a dream you forget. It's a cold certainty you carry into breakfast. It's that sudden, unshakable intuition that your best friend's joke yesterday wasn't actually a joke. Or the realization at 7 a.m. before you've said a word to anyone that your boss's email was actually a threat. Your brain didn't just think this. It simulated the fallout while you were unconscious, ran the scenarios across multiple outcomes, and filed the most likely result as a felt truth you'll treat as real all day. You didn't decide this. The simulation decided it for you. The cold shoulder you gave someone at work without knowing why. The relationship that suddenly feels wrong even though nothing new happened. The morning hostility with no morning cause. That's the filing system doing exactly what it was built to do. Protect you from social threats, real or imagined, by preloading your responses before you're awake enough to think straight. Your ancestors needed this. For most of human history, closing your eyes for 8 hours was the most vulnerable state you could be in. Blind, immobile, surrounded by people in your own camp who might, in the dark, decide your resources were worth taking. So your brain made that time count. Run the social threat models. Update the hierarchy. Preload responses. Sleep wasn't downtime, it was operational planning. The Draugr mythology was the Viking language for the morning sensation that followed. Not a creature from outside. A transformation from inside. Someone who went to sleep and came back carrying something the night had put there. Sharper, colder, already moved against someone they'd shown no sign of moving against. Historians call this folklore. But watch yourself across a week. Notice who you wake up harder toward than you went to sleep. Notice which names land differently on Monday morning than they did on Sunday night. The Norsemen weren't superstitious. They were observant. They just used the only language they had. Here's where the loop closes. Go back to the opening line. Your brain is currently wargaming how to deal with your enemies. Not past tense, present. The threat assessment that ran while you slept updated a map you've been reading all morning. It shaped how you received this. It determined which faces surfaced when you heard the word enemies at the start. That wasn't random. That was the output. After a full REM cycle, your social trust hierarchy has been silently updated. People moved without your knowledge. Emotional responses recalibrated, sometimes permanently, without a single conscious decision from you. You carry this map into every room today. You use it in every conversation without knowing it. The next time you feel a sourceless hostility towards someone close to you, ask yourself when you last slept, and what your brain decided while you weren't there to stop it. Go back to the first 15 seconds. Notice which name or face appeared when your brain heard the word enemies. That reaction wasn't a choice. It was the system. And it's already decided who you're going to be wary of tomorrow morning. Your brain is currently wargaming how to deal with your enemies.